Bring into the platform now a woman who has been fighting for people since she was a teenager. Charity is her work. She loves human beings. A mother who puts her children and her family first and loves other children as she loves her own. A hardworking, brilliant, intelligent, fiery lady who will be the next representative for Diego Martin West when she put a cocktail on Rowley. Rowley had to go. Rowley had to go. Marsha, Marsha, Marsha Walker.
Rowley have to go. Diego Martin. Rowley have to go. Diego Martin. Rowley have to go. He have to go. Good evening to our honorable political leader, Mrs. Kamala Prasad-Bissessar. To my colleagues, our online audience, and to you, the people of Diego Martin.
Yes.
When I first donned a political platform, it was right here in Diego Martin. In that speech, I spoke about the hurt I felt of having to live away from my family home. In fact, just recently, one of my supporters met the famous Auntie Jenny from my first speech. I lamented on the whole hotspot issue, wanting to raise my daughters in an area where the system wouldn't judge them just by their address. Today, that pain has only gotten worse. Today, I feel the pain of so many others. Persons selling off everything and migrating because they see no hope for Trinidad and Tobago under Rowley. Leaving their homes behind, many leaving their siblings, their parents, and some are even leaving their children. Today, I feel the pain of families who cannot migrate. I feel the pain of the children who cannot leave and find safe dwelling. Today, I feel the pain of Kevin Spring's mother. Kevin was supposed to sit SCA in March, but instead, he was shot and killed while washing cars for money. Kevin kept a dream book. He wanted out. He wanted better, but his life was snatched from him, not because he didn't choose wisely, but because he simply lived on the wrong street. Keith Christopher Rowley. Kevin lived on Cemetery Street. Kevin lived in your constituency. His name was Kevin. He never sat SCA, and you did not care. Do you care about the youths in Covine who have fallen into the hands of gangs because your government had no real plan for them during the pandemic? I guess you care about them as much as you cared about Semyon Daniel and Anthony Francois. Do you even know that last week the residents of Big Yard came together to celebrate the 3-year anniversary of little Naomi Nelson? Do you care about anything else other than money and power? To be honest, I am torn. I am torn because we had a choice. We, the people of Diego Martin, had an opportunity to do better, to see that we deserve better, and we missed it. So part of me wants to say like Sparrow, we like it so we get what we deserve. But the better side of me knows that much of what we think, or how we vote, or how we do not vote, in the case of Diego Martin West, is because of the psychological games played by the PNM from the very inception. Let me give you an example of how these people has get into our heads. I just mentioned several children, right, who've died under the PNM administration. Do you know what PNM trolls on social media will want to say? That I politicizing the death of children. Tonight, I want you to reject their mind games. I want you to understand that everything is political. Tonight, I want you to stand firm in your resolve that a government's role is to enforce policies that will keep our children safe. So if our children are showing up dead on every street corner, then it is political, because these deaths could have been prevented had Keith Christopher Rowley cared, had he had the political will to protect them. That is the nasty mindset, mind games of the PNM. They care more about staying in power than empowering our people through truth. So they twist our actions, they bully anyone who dares stand up against them and fight for the people. Don't fall for it, Diego Martin. You know what's another one of their mind games? Something called voter suppression. Do you know what voter suppression means? It means that you think your vote for Marsha Walker wouldn't count because it's a PNM safe seat, and so I wasted my time for lies. Tell them they lie. Let me tell you all why. 10,000 persons voted for Keith Christopher Rowley out of an electorate of 29,000 persons. This is not a PNM safe seat. This has never been and never will be a PNM safe seat. 17,000 people in Diego Martin West did not vote. This is a non-voting seat. It's not a PNM seat. It's a non-voting seat. Now that's the part of me that says, well, maybe we get what we deserve. Because it's not that you didn't have a choice. It is because, and I'm sorry to say it, you didn't care enough. You didn't care enough to dig past the propaganda. You didn't care enough to go past the headline. You did not care enough to understand that to our children, politics matter. You didn't care enough to see that UNC and PNM are not the same. You did not care enough to see that Kamla Prasad-Bissessar is a far better human being and a leader than Keith Rowley could ever be. She will beat him in his sleep. United National Congress is not the same as PNM. And tonight, I will demonstrate to you why we are not the same. Last week, the nation was once again sent into mourning when a report was laid in Parliament outlining the horrific stories of abuse in our homes, in our children's homes. The report confirmed that many of these homes receive state funding, even though they are not licensed. That meant that these homes could not meet the criteria. It meant that the state knew that these homes could not meet the criteria to take care of our children, and the state continued to fund it. Listen, you know what that is? That is state-sanctioned rape. That is state-sanctioned child abuse. Here's what is worse. The office of the Prime Minister knew about the report. In fact, let me answer some of the lies he come and tell all you before we reach here today. He say, but we knew, and we didn't sit on it and then do nothing. Since March last year, his minister come and say, junior minister, because the children's ministry could never have a whole ministry for themselves, right? But we could go there just now. Since March last year, Ayanna Webster Roy came and said, I think something going on. As if UNC had not been telling you for the last 6 years, but she came and say, I think something going on since March last year. So from March 2021, you say, okay, let me commission a little task force, because it's always a task force. Then, in December, she received the report. But I don't know. You could tell me what you think it was. I have no idea if Rowley say, well, here what? We need to make up a story to figure out why nearly half of the homes in this country are unlicensed. Let me make up a story. It's either that, or he was too busy tasting Carnival, tasting Tobago, and tasting God knows what, who, and where else. And that is why we needed to wait until April of 2022 for the report to be laid in Parliament. They want to tell me politics don't matter? Do you know data suggests, local data, that between 10 and 14 children are abused daily in Trinidad? And that's just those that are reported. Y'all do the math and tell me how many children would have been abused in the 5 months that PNM, that Keith Rowley and Ayanna Webster Roy sat on that report. How many of our children were lost in those 5 months? Don't tell me politics don't matter. Don't tell me don't make this political. The death of our children is very much political. It is in the hands. The blood of those children are on your hands. They're on your hands, Keith Rowley. Your hands. You did not care enough. In fact, you cared so little that if we go back to when Keith Rowley was forming the cabinet, he forgot on the whole to appoint somebody to deal with children. Is when the media say, so what about the girl in Tobago? She don't get a ministry too? And he said, oh shucks, that was an oversight. And he quick. He said, well, you go do something. Be minister of children, right? But junior minister, because I can't handle our whole ministry just for children. That is to tell you how much Keith Rowley cares about your children, Bagatelle. That's how much Keith Rowley cares about your children, Covine. That's how much Keith Rowley cares about your children, Big Yard. Don't tell me politics don't matter. Don't tell me that. On Tuesday, the country lost yet another baby. Another baby was lost, and we have more questions than answers. Who in this PNM government is fighting for our children? Well, let me tell you, who fighting for them? Let me tell you why Kamla Persad-Bissessar will never be the same as Keith Rowley. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, since the Basdio Pandey days, was fighting legislation. She fought for the package of legislation that would pave the way for the Children's Authority. And then when Manning sit on it, when he sit and he do nothing on it, it was Kamla Persad-Bissessar, when she became Prime Minister, she operationalized the legislation that gave way to the Children's Authority. And when Keith Rowley came into power, from day one they mash it up. They mash it up. They never give enough resources. They mash it up. Don't tell me that Kamla and Keith is the same. Don't tell me Kamla Persad-Bissessar and Keith Rowley is the same. Never. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar has dedicated her entire life to fighting for the children of our nation. Tego Martin West, tonight I call on you to reject the lies. Oh, you know what's repetitive marketing? Repetitive marketing is when you see over and over, hey, you see that shoe? I like that shoe, you know. You see that shoe? I like that shoe, you know. You need that shoe. Go buy that shoe. You need that shoe. That is what PNM does do. PNM know that they will never see the halls of Parliament because they have no policy. So they need propaganda. They need lies. So they know, because everybody know how to be a tyrant. Netflix do a whole documentary, right? So you must tell a lie over and over and over until the people believe it to be truth. Tonight, Tego Martin West, I ask you, our children deserve your vote. Our children deserve for you to go past the propaganda, go past the headlines. Let me tell you something. I'm willing to talk to you. Tonight is my anniversary. Nobody know that, you know. You know why? Because the children of this nation, that is what we decided we was going to dedicate our life to do, to fight for the children of this nation. And that is why we chose to serve under Kamla Prasad-Bissessar, because we knew that was where her heart was. To the 17,000 people in Tego Martin West, all you hearing it, right? 10,000 vote for Rowley, 17,000 did not vote. This country could have been doing better. The whole country, not just Tego Martin West, because we voted in the Prime Minister. Had the 17,000 people cared enough about our children, they would have gone past the propaganda and they would have chosen performance and policy. They would not have voted based on race and religions and all kind of nonsense. My office number, I put in it big and bold because I'm reachable. Me and hiding from the people. I here to serve all you. 399-5561. Call me and let us talk.
Say it again.
399-5561. And I'll say it again. 399-5561. Call me. Let us talk, because our children deserve for you to get the information. Our children deserve for you to know the truth. Our children deserve for you to come out and vote. Come out and vote. Come out and vote. Rowley must go. Rowley must go. Good night, and I thank you.
After a presentation like that, I will take the reverse approach. I want you to stay quiet and think. Think.